welcome to Stonebrooke Live. I'm Rachel.
I'm Freddie. Nice to see you guys this week.
Yeah, we're glad that you're here. We're going to be starting the service here in about 5 minutes, but we just want to hang out with you guys for a little bit because we miss seeing you. So since we can't see you in person, you can see us online. How about
that? Exactly. And in that time, we want you guys to get your questions in. If you got any questions, let us know where you're watching from as well. We love to see where you guys are watching us from because we love you guys. You're our family. We miss you so much.
We do, absolutely. Please let us know that like Freddie said, where you're watching from, that you're watching. Give us a wave, give us a hey, something like that.
Give you guys a shout out.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of shout outs, we have to shout out to El Cabrito this morning. I guess they're watching us online there. Good morning, guys.
Good morning, guys.
If you need some tacos this afternoon, go check out El Cabrito.
Yep. Get your plug. Yeah, don't forget about the kids stream. Our kids stream's coming up too, so make sure you go there to get your kids involved so they can get their message today as well.
That's right. Stonebrooke Kids, you can find their live stream. They'll start at about 10:35. So you can get your kids set up in another room and then come back and hang out with us for a while.
Of course. We got anybody?
Timothy Little, good morning, Little.
Good morning, guys.
Doing? Who else? Emily Rowden, she's watching from Phelps Health. So thanks for hanging out.
Thanks for hanging out with us over there.
Who you got on YouTube?
Nobody as of yet. I got 8 viewers. No comments though.
Hey, YouTubers.
Get your comments on YouTube.
Let us know who you are.
We're watching there too.
Yeah. Hi, Janice. Good morning. Benet Lewis is watching. Good morning, Benet. Again, I talked to Benet earlier this morning. Hi, Debbie. Debbie was my coworker.
Oh, nice.
Glad to see you're watching us this morning.
Oh, nice. Good morning, Janice.
Alrighty.
We got about 2.5 minutes until it goes live.
Ooh.
So make sure you get those comments in. What you guys doing for the plans for next week? Anything like that. School's starting back up. We might not know what it quite looks like, but hopefully the kids are getting excited to be going back to school soon.
My kids are not excited about that at all. I bet there's not too many kids that are excited about that.
I know when I was a kid during the summers, I hated it because it was so boring. Like I was so active doing sports and stuff, but at the same time, I missed school because it kept me occupied during the day. The summers, it was fun, but
with the way school ended last year, there may be a few more kids that are excited to go back this year since maybe they feel like they missed a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. Hi, Amanda. Good morning, Randina. You guys doing all right this morning? Glad you're hanging out with us.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Also, I want to mention, you can start like a live watch party. Share our stream with your friends. Let them know what's happening. You can do that. We would love to for you guys to share. And then also check in on your page that you're at Stonebrooke Church Online. We want everybody to know that we're still here, even though you're not here in person. We're still active. We're still doing some stuff. So.
And if you are watching, share the link with some of your friends. Get them to watch. Tell them about us. You know, spread the word. Spread the word for us, because it's your guys' that keeps us going.
That's right. Susan, can't wait till we can all meet in person too. That's absolutely.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely excited about whenever that might be.
Right.
Yeah. Coming here on a Sunday morning is kind of empty without all you guys in here.
It is. It really is. All right, guys, we're going to get started here in just a few seconds. We've got some music. We've got a really cool message and a few little announcements here and there, but sit back, relax, and enjoy the service. Love you guys. Miss you.
Oh, though the earth cried out for blood, satisfied her hunger was. Her billows calmed on raging seas, for the souls of men she craved. Sun and moon from balcony turned their head in disbelief. Their precious love would taste the sting, disfigured and disdained. On Friday a thief, on Sunday a king, laid down in grief, but awoke with the keys of hell on that day, the firstborn of the slain, the man Jesus Christ, laid in death in his grave. Oh, oh, oh. Slept the morning sun of righteousness, that rose to shame the throes of death and overturned his rule. Now daughters and the sons of men, they paid not their dues again. The debt of blood they owed was rent when the day rolled anew. On Friday a thief, on Sunday a king, laid down in grief, but awoke with the keys of hell on that day, the firstborn of the slain, the man Jesus Christ, laid death in his grave. Death in his grave. Death in Friday a thief, on Sunday a king, laid down in grief, but awoke with the keys of hell on that day, the firstborn of the slain, and the man Jesus Christ, laid in death in his grave.
Hey, welcome back, guys. This is the part where we just give you some information about what's going on with us. First off, if you're having any trouble out with that, whether that be financially, emotionally, anything like that going on, check us out at Stonebrooke Cares. We're here for you for any resource that you got going on, any problems that you have, reach out to us. We want to get you the right help that you need and the people that will help you. So check us out at Stonebrooke Cares.
Absolutely. We also have a couple specific groups if you're interested. We have a grief support group that meets here every single Tuesday at 5:30, and then a PTSD support group that meets here also every Tuesday at 7 o'clock. So it's not like a therapy type thing, it is a support group. So if you're looking for something like that, I think these are the only two anywhere in this area. It's free of charge. Come hang out, and if that's something that you need or are interested in, be here on Tuesday. We would love for you to get involved in either of those.
Also, we got some merch for you guys. Check us out, stonebrook.tv/shirts. You can get our shirts there. We got the one that says I love Jesus, but I cuss a little. We got our FORPulaski shirts there, our regular shirts. So if you like anything like that, check us out at stonebrook.tv/shirts for your merch. As well as getting connected with us. We love for you guys to get connected with us. And you can text the word connect card to 97,000. It'll pop up on your phone, or you can go to stonebrooke.tv/connect and it'll be the same thing. Just fill out some information on there. We won't harass you or anything. We just want to say thank you for getting involved with us, watching along and stuff like that. And if you have any prayer requests or anything like that, or some questions, you can also fill that out as well.
Absolutely. Thanks for hanging out with us. I think Caleb is going to be here with our message soon. So,
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we're switching it up a little bit this week. So thanks again for hanging out with us, guys.
Hey, good morning, everybody. My name is Caleb. I am the Next Gen Director here at Stonebrooke. And you might notice I am not Mark this morning. He is out this week. But I got something that I'm really excited to share with you guys. It may be something that you guys are already very aware of, but it's just something that has been on my heart lately, and I think it's really important in the times that we're in right now with everything that's going on. I'm going to do my best to navigate this carefully. I think it's going to be good, so I'm excited to hang out and talk with you guys this morning. But I want to talk about Luke 10, and there's a few verses in there where a Pharisee asks Jesus, what is the most important commandment that God has? What's the most important commandment in the Bible? And what happens after that, I think it's pretty cool. But of course, Jesus never really answers things straight. He never gives a straight answer to where the Pharisees, who are there to try to trap him anyway, can back him into a corner, can get him tangled up in his words, whatever it may be. And instead of just answering the question straight, he asks the Pharisee, what do you read in the Bible? What do you see? And so Jesus asks him, what do you see in the Bible? What do you read that the most important commandment is? And his response is, love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your strength and with all your mind. And love your neighbor as yourself. And that second part of that response is what I want to talk about. And love your neighbor is something that whether you've grown up in church, whether you just started going to church, whatever it may be, we have heard love your neighbor as yourself our entire lives. It's become so cliche. And when someone says love your neighbor as yourself, it almost comes out as something that, that's so easy to do. But it turns out that it's really not all that easy. And who is your neighbor to begin with? Is that just Billy down the street, or what? Who are we deciding is our neighbor? And like I said earlier, I'm the Next Gen Director here. And over in Kids Rock, which is our kindergarten through fifth grade environment, I have 3 rules. And one of my rules is be nice to your neighbor. And I always tell them, your neighbor isn't just the person that's sitting next to you, isn't just the person sitting to your right, not to your left. It isn't the person that's not even here, that's your neighbor at home. That's not who we're talking about. In this case, we're talking about anyone in that room. But we are talking about anyone that you come across in your life, anyone that is in the wake of your daily life. That is who your neighbor is. Anyone that you come in contact, anyone that you meet is your neighbor. And now, when you get to thinking about all of the people that you come in contact with throughout your day, is loving your neighbor really as easy, really as natural as it sounds when we read that scripture? And I don't know about you guys, I'm not there throughout your daily life, but I know for me, that's really not the case. And I want you guys to know that is that I'm not here talking about this, saying that I'm some sort of authority in loving your neighbor, that I'm just a perfect person at loving my neighbor. But this guy, Jesus, that we're talking about, I really think that he is. And I think that we can learn a few things from him. And so when we look at it, unfortunately, judge our neighbor or hurt our neighbor or complain about our neighbor or ignore our neighbor or put down our neighbor. And unfortunately, as we've seen so much, even kill our neighbor comes so much more naturally to us than loving our neighbor does. And so what we want to talk about is, how do we go from this side over here of judge, put down, ignore, hurt, hate, kill our neighbor, and cross over to the love our neighbor? And I think there's two things we have to do. First, before anything, we have to change the way that we think about the people that are around us. And once we get our thought process, our outlook on people changed inside of us, then of course we have to change what we do, how we act, the actions that we are putting out into our daily life. And so to talk about that, I have, a couple illustrations, and we all know how much things are worth around us. We all can look at the things that we really like and know that's worth $10. That's worth $100. We know what the things around us are worth, and these things are worth that much based on how much someone will pay for them. And we all have those things in our life that, man, if I had the money, I'd pay whatever it took to get that in my life, to get that to me. And there's a verse I want to talk about. It's 1 Peter 1:18 and 19. And it says, "For know that it was not the perishable things such as silver or gold that you were redeemed with from the empty way of life handed down to you from our ancestors, but the precious blood of Christ, a lamb without blemish or defect." And there's a word that I want to talk about in there, redeemed. And some translations will say ransomed. Redeemed is to compensate for the faults or bad aspects of. Ransomed, a sum of money or other payment demanded or paid for the release of a prisoner. And like I said, we all have those certain things in our life that we would pay any sum of money for to have. But most of us typically draw the line at, or probably a long way before, our life. But Jesus decided that he was going to, whatever it took, get us back, show us that we were already enough. We didn't owe him anything, and he died for us. And so he paid, ransomed us with his life. And it's easy to read this scripture that says you, where it says, "For you know that it was not perishable things such as silver or gold that you were redeemed with." It's easy to read that and just think about you personally. And again, I'm not saying that I don't do this, because I do. But it's easy to look at this and not think about all the billions of people in this world that this includes. And we have to, in order to change our thinking, we have to step back and realize that every single person that we come in contact, every single person we see on the news, every single person we see on Facebook, and people that we don't even know, they were also redeemed by this. They also matter. They matter so much to Jesus that he was willing to give his life for them. And we have to realize everyone is someone. And it's so easy, especially now with the media and Facebook and just all of the things that we argue and disagree about and don't understand about each other and think, well, this person is just terrible because they believe this way. We have to come back to the realization that they are someone. They're not only someone to Jesus, they're someone to the people that are in their life. And there's just so much hate and disagreement around things that have been happening in the media. And I just think it's important that we acknowledge that everyone is someone. And I think this is something that is so easy for us, again, to just, yeah, they matter. We know they matter. I know that person matters. But when you really get down to it, that person that cut you off on the interstate this morning that you flipped off matters. That person that you're behind in the checkout line at Walmart and you're just so tired and you want them to hurry up and you're cussing them in your head, they really do matter. And when we can get that through our head, where when everything that we do, everything we think about the people around us runs through the filter of they matter, they are someone, then that's really when we can move on to the next step. And I think we all want more of this world, more of this in our world right now. We want more people to love each other, to love the people around them. And it's so easy to sit on the couch at night and watch the news and point to the people around you that if they would just show more love, then we wouldn't be in this situation. If this group of people would show more love, then, this wouldn't be happening. And it's so easy to point the finger. But if we don't sit there and really have this conversation deep within ourselves, so once we change the way that we think about people, we can then move on to changing what we do. And next in Luke 10, the Pharisee responds, "And who is my neighbor?" And again, Jesus doesn't give an answer. He answers with a parable or a story. And this story is what we refer to as the story of the Good Samaritan. And Jesus says, "A man was going down from Jerusalem to Jericho when he was attacked by robbers. They stripped him of his clothes, beat him, and went away, leaving him half dead." So, where we are right now, we are in the middle of nowhere on the side of the road, and a Jewish man was beat, stripped of his clothes, and left half dead on the side of the road. These people stole everything he had, beat him almost to death, and just left him there to die. And next up, he says, a priest happened to be going down the same road. And when he saw the man, he passed by on the other side. So too, a Levite, when he came to the place and saw him, passed by on the other side. So a priest, who is supposed to be, someone who loves people unconditionally, sort of is a mediator in these times for people's relationship with God. And then a Levite, who is basically the assistant to the priest. Two of these people at different times pass by and just completely ignore this man that's sitting on the side of the road, almost dead. They just pretend they don't see him. They're on their way somewhere. They got somewhere to be by a certain time. We got to keep going, right? So they just keep on walking. And I really like the way that Jesus is setting up this story because, like I said, this is a Jewish man left for dead on the side of the road. And a Jewish priest walks by and leaves him there for dead. A Levite, a Jewish man that is the assistant to the priest, walks by. And these are all people that are the same race, same religion. They agree with each other. They see this man on the side of the road and decide, no, I'm going to keep walking. But a Samaritan, as he traveled, came where the man was, and when he saw him, he took pity on him. He went to him, bandaged his wounds, pouring on oil and wine. And so, to really understand what's happening in this story, we have to understand that Samaritans and the Jews really hate each other. Their country had split in half. They had divided. The Jews and the Samaritans were on the complete other side. They had temples that were centers for adultery. They just really hated and disagreed with each other. And like I said, two Jewish people walk on by this man and ignore him. But the Samaritan comes by, takes pity on him, bandaged his wounds, pouring oil and wine. Then he put the man on his own donkey, brought him to an inn, and took care of him. The next day, he took out 2 denarii, and some other translations say 2 silver coins. Denarii is just the money that they use, and gave them to the innkeeper. Look after him, he said, and when I return, I will reimburse you for any extra expense that you may have. And so, in order to really act out this love your neighbor thing, I think there's 3 things that we really have to do. We have to notice that someone is in need of our help, of our love. We have to break certain barriers, whether these barriers are just your comfort zone, whether it's the barrier of, hey, I got somewhere to be, whether it's a barrier of disagreements between people, whether it's somebody that from your past that has just tore you down, has really hurt you, that you just can't stand because of a history between you. We have to break certain barriers in our life, and we have to pay the price. So this Samaritan comes along. Of course, he notices the need of this man laying on the side of the road. And not only does he have to break the barriers of, hey, here's an extremely bloody, naked man laying on the side of the road. I'm going to go pick him up and put him on my donkey, pick up his naked body, and take care of him. He has to break through the barrier of patriotism because his country and the Jews' country really clash, really disagree with each other. He has to break through the barrier of religion. There's so much that he has to do. And then, at the end of it all, he takes the man to the inn and pays the price to heal him. And Jesus just ends and says, go and do likewise. And so the biggest commandment is for us to go and do likewise to our neighbors. Go and be like the Good Samaritan to our neighbors. And that's so important to what I'm trying to say here is love doesn't just talk about loving the people around them. Love doesn't just pray for the people around them. Love doesn't just comment, bless your heart, on their Facebook post. Love doesn't say, if you don't believe this, just like I believe this, get out of my life. Delete me from Facebook. Love just does. Love goes and does likewise. And that is really the most important step to taking what this scripture says and really applying it to our life. And, you know, even if you're watching this and you're not a Christian, you don't believe this Jesus guy, you're not sure any of this exists, I think it's pretty easy to see that this is probably the way that we're supposed to live our lives, in community with each other, loving each other, and doing for the people around us. And there's something I want to challenge you guys to do. It's something that we did with some of our volunteers here at the church last year, and it really changed the way that I think and the way that I do things. And there's a man named Bob Goff, and he wrote a book called Love Does. And I just want you guys, if you don't like reading, download Audible. If you do like reading, hop on Amazon, hop on your Kindle app, whatever it is. Get this book, Love Does, and listen or read to it, because I think it'll change your life. And I think even if it doesn't, you'll have a really good time in the process of reading it. Bob's a really funny guy. He does some crazy things that I probably don't suggest that you do for the safety of your family. But I think it's a really good book, and he makes some really good points in that book. And I would really love if you guys downloaded that and read that. I hope that you got something out of this. I hope you enjoyed your time hanging out with us this morning. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you have a great rest of your week, and I hope that you make more of an effort to go and do likewise with me. Thank you so much. See you guys.
No point of reference, you spoke to the dark and flashed out the wonder of light. And as you speak, 100 billion galaxies are born in the vapor of your breath. Stars were made to worship, so am I can see your heart in everything you made. Every burning star, a signal fire of grace. If creation sings your praises, so don't speak in vain, no syllable empty or void. For once you have spoken, all nature and science follow the sound of your voice. And as you speak, 100 billion creatures catch your breath, evolving in pursuit of what you said. If it all reveals your nature so alive, I can see your heart in everything you say. Every painted sky, a canvas of your grace. If creation still obeys you so alive, so if the stars are made to worship so alive, if the mountains bow in reverence so alive, if the oceans roar your greatness so alive, for if everything exists to lift you high, so will I. If the wind goes where you send it, so will I. If the rocks cry out in silence, so will I. If the sun of all our praises still falls shy, then we'll sing again 100 billion times. You chased down my heart through all of my failure and pride. On a hill you created, the light of the world, abandoned in darkness to die. And as you speak, 100 billion failures disappear. Where you lost your life so I could find it here. If you left the grave behind you, so will I. I can see your heart in everything you've done. Every part designed in a work of art. If you gladly chose surrender, so will I. I can see your heart a billion different ways. Every precious one, a child you died to save. You gave your life to love and so alive, like you would again 100 billion times. But what measure could amount to your desire? You're the one who never leaves the one behind.
Thanks again for hanging out with us, guys. We really appreciated you watching this morning. We hope to see you next week. And don't forget about connecting with us.
Yeah, the Connect card, once again, text phrase, the Connect card to 97,000. to get your prayer requests in and just get connected with us. We love to hear from you guys, as well as checking out our merch at stonebrook.tv/shirts for our shirts. You can get that, and that's another way we know you guys are really connected with us.
That's right. Also, if you need any kind of assistance whatsoever, don't forget about our Stonebrooke Cares. We're here not just on Sunday mornings, but we want to be available for you guys through the week too. So if you need assistance, please let us know. We're happy to help. Thanks again for hanging out with us, and we'll see you again next week.
See you guys.